there. Let's see. I guess we'll turn down the volume. Do not disturb. Set chat. All messages. Alright, now we just gotta wait for people.
Yeah. One, I think that's one.
Do you want to hit that light down there? That helps. What's up, Charles? Oh, heathens, what's going on? Can you guys hear us? We have not done a sound check yet. Get everything organized behind. Oh, let's see. Yeah, if you guys can hear us, just say something in the comments, please, so we know everything's good. Aussie Black Sheep, good morning. Yeah, I guess it is. Good morning. It's good evening here, but yeah. Time zones and stuff. I want to see more of Cutie. I'm right here. Sweet. Thank you, Aussie. So, sound is good. That's good. So, what's everyone up to? We're kind of just hanging out in the middle of Pennsylvania along I-80, waiting to pick up in 2 days.
Day after tomorrow.
Yeah. 7:30 a.m. Yeah, it's 6 p.m. here. 6:01 now, but that's cool. Are you a trucker in Australia, or you just watch trucking content? They have a lot different trucking industry than we do here. Oh, it was. Okay, cool. Yeah. Heading to do the road test for a new company. What company are you going with, if you want to say? We're doing pretty good. We kind of booked some stuff that had a little bit of time, but it was the best thing on the board, so. Cookeville, Tennessee. Hello. We're in middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania. I don't even know what city this is. Lamar. Okay.
I think it's Lamar, TA.
Yeah. We were in New York, deadheaded down here to pick up Saya. Okay. That's a good gig to get on to right now. After 35 years, not getting any better, so I got out. Yeah. I mean, I've been hearing that pretty much all my life from truckers. It's on a gradual decline, but it's how fast it goes for people. Some people ride it out their whole career. Some people get out while the money's so good. Have you missed any comments so far?
Don't think so.
I'm trying to catch them when they pop up, but when more people get in, it's going to get a little hectic. It's going to be hard to keep up. So we'll have to use the other phones to find the comments that we have missed.
Sure.
Oh. So we got people road testing, early morning live. It's 7:30 in the morning.
If you do it late enough here.
That's very true.
It's late enough in the morning there.
It's very true. I'm not good with time zones, but
Aussie Black Sheep just makes me think about albino black sheep. That was the game website, right? Was it albino black sheep?
What game website?
With like exploding kittens and stuff.
Miguel, what's up, man? One day people wait, no trucks, no food. Yeah, but unfortunately somebody's always got to pay their bills, so in some capacity somebody's always going to be running loads. Ben Frank Beats, what's up? Oh, what's up, buddy? Fate Trucking, or F8, whatever you want to go by. I'm still calling you Fate Trucking. I don't think you've ever drawn the line in the sand on one side or the other. Wonder if I can invite people after the fact. No, just kidding. So YouTube started this thing where they have they allow you to invite people to your chats, kind of like StreamYard. How long do you guys plan on trucking before you do something else? Well, it's
It's fate.
it's kind of a moving target. When we got in, we had an idea of how long we wanted to stay in the industry, but I mean, things come up. We had the opportunity to get this truck. We'd like to pay it off completely and run for a while with no truck payment. We'd like to buy land and house cash. So it's a moving target, man. I don't know how long we're gonna stay in, but we definitely don't want to like retire in a truck or die in a truck. We'd like to make the money and then kind of transition out once we establish a house and land and things that we want. I saw somebody. Glad I didn't have to deal with this comeback loading agents. Oh yeah, agents are fun. It's a new adventure. All right, so we're saying it's fate trucking. That's the line in the sand. That's what we're going with. How long before you have the truck paid off? 1 more year, theoretically. So we have a buyout of $78,000 that's gonna happen in September. We have most of it, but we don't really want to spend all the money on it. So we're gonna probably look into refinancing the rest, and then hopefully have it the payment length for like a year. So 1 more year, most likely. A year and 2 months. You guys have been rocking it. Yeah, we're trying. I mean, we're just out enjoying it, trying to make the best of it. You know, not grow to hate the job, and that's why we're not even interested in trying the whole like burn up the team miles and run kind of robotic stuff that you have to get into, like running full team. We just want to still like the job. Is that just the prime mover? What do you mean by that? We left Prime Inc. Oh, yeah. Okay, mover tractor. Yeah, same thing. No, so we left Prime Inc. Turned in the truck, and then we got this truck from a separate company.
Can you imagine if we were still paying off a truck that we'd started financing at Prime?
We'd be about almost over it. Are you two running team or solo? We're kind of in between. We're not on like team dedicated stuff, but sometimes we have to run team loads if it lines up. Sometimes it's solo loads. Sometimes it's like 2 loads in a day where a solo driver couldn't quite do it. But each of them are separately a solo load, but we stacked them so tightly.
An ideal right now are the usually FedEx runs where we're allowed to get it there whenever. So they'll have like 4 days to get from Minnesota to Florida, like Orlando area. So instead we'll do it in like a day and get it down there, and then we can get on to the next load. But it's just tricky playing the load board game and finding things that have a little bit of time to where we're not like super pressed, you know, run, ton of miles, no extra time. But still tight enough to
run efficiently.
Yeah, to run efficiently. So FedEx is still always the best in our opinion because we can get it there when it's convenient for us.
Yeah, Tim says the truck has been a good one for you. Yeah, I mean that's why we really wanted a Cummins motor in a Peterbilt. We like the comfort of the Peterbilt, and it's a large sleeper. Has the large bed and everything, and then the Cummins motor is pretty reliable. Out of the newer motors, I mean that's kind of what we went for, and it's been pretty good. Just the weird fan thing that we had to take in twice to get fixed, but I mean other than that, can't think of. I mean we replaced the shocks, but they weren't like bad. We just did it as preventative maintenance.
It was getting a little rough.
Yeah, but they weren't like blown
Yeah.
out. They weren't like leaking or anything. So we kind
If
of
it
took
were
it
up to
upon
somebody
ourselves.
else, they wouldn't have replaced them.
Right. Aussie says you're only buying the tractor. Yeah, yeah. The company that we run with provides a trailer until rates improve, and then we'll buy like a specialty trailer with like the lift gate and everything, so we can get higher paying freight. C15 cat. Nah, man, we need some fuel economy. We don't need power. We just pulled basic, less than 45,000 pounds, so we don't need anything with crazy power. I'd rather have good fuel economy. FedEx has been a very good source of income. Yeah, I mean that's what's paying our bills right now mostly. Not even gonna dance around that issue. Yeah, FedEx has definitely been paying our bills, and it sucks because they're like furloughing their drivers and they're shutting down some stuff, but
and renegotiating rates.
yeah, they are renegotiating rates and stuff, but the money's still there. It's the best thing if there's one that lines up near where we are. We almost always book a FedEx load. Yes, but it hasn't left you on the side of the road. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's the glory thing. I've been able to fix anything that we needed to fix to move to a shop, or just went ahead and replaced them myself on like in a truck stop parking lot or anything like that. So yeah, we haven't had any significant downtime with the truck. We took it in for the fan stuff twice while we were on vacation or home time. Yeah. But even that, like, it was really loud. The fan is really loud, and it kind of messes with the Jake brakes and downshifting and stuff like that. But it was more annoying. Like, it didn't stop us from making money, so that's why we took forever to.
We usually drive slow enough to where it didn't really affect fuel economy.
What's your weekly gross? It really depends. It's hard to give an average because
well, we take a lot of home time now.
Yeah, we've been taking a lot of home time, and the rates have been up and down. Well, not really the rates, the capacity. So the number of loads. Some weeks we can line it up really well where we get a bunch in and like we don't have a whole lot of downtime. And then we have weeks like this where we delivered yesterday and we're not picking up until Sunday. So,
but look, we are not the team that you come to see some impressive number. We're just not.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not like
gross. I would say, I don't know, bad weeks maybe 6, 7, good weeks maybe, I don't know, 10, 12, 15, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's a roller coaster ride. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad, but
and we're definitely not a team that would be a good example of what you could make as a team at Landstar, because there are a lot of really good auto parts loads right now going cross country.
Well,
like
there's
2 days on them.
We've put a lot of our friends
machinery loads.
Yeah, that want to run like the wheels off the truck. We put them on that dedicated stuff through Google, and they'll give you like 6,000 miles. I think it was a guarantee. At one point, it was a guarantee of like 13,000 to the truck. So if we wanted to like really, well, that's not even what we're interested in. That's the whole reason why we bought our own truck.
Yeah.
We left Prime. We came over here to do our own thing, is because we don't want to run as a team. Like super solo or like 1.5 drivers is kind of where we like to be. You know, we still want to enjoy the job. We still want to enjoy each other's company and stuff like that. It's not like we want to do this like robotic, like go into the sleeper, sleep your 10 hours, switch drivers, see the other driver as they're coming to the sleeper. And
well, it's a safety thing too, really, because if you you don't get restful sleep ever while the truck is moving, then at what point are you actually safely resting and then driving 10 hours? So we're just doing what we can with what we've got. But
yeah, I mean, we're making money, pays our bills, everything's good.
Yeah.
Good in the world. We're trying to do the best we can when the rates are down. Let's see. Tammy says hello from Washington, Pennsylvania. I don't know where that is in relation to Lamar, but we're in Pennsylvania as well,
Yeah.
currently.
So is it near? No, I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna take a guess, but
It's a shame Landstar doesn't do better on upkeep with their trailers. Yeah, but that's literally anywhere that has dry vans is
yeah.
kind of like that. It's one of those things where they'll repair it when it ends up on the side of the road, but otherwise it's cheaper to just not do preventative maintenance. You just do repairs.
They say if you want it
Southwest of
maintained
Pittsburgh.
differently, get your own trailer.
Yeah, and that's kind of where we're at. So, I mean, we just do what we can. We keep the trailers legal, but otherwise we just do a bunch of drop and hooks. So it just kind of rolls.
Some of them have been
around.
riding pretty decent, or like this one rides all right, but it's really old. And were you thinking it was the ABS?
I'm not sure.
That's kind of gone away though.
Yeah.
When you hit the brakes, sometimes it would pulse a little bit, but
yeah, it has a
is
weird pulse through the brakes.
it's a decent trailer and it has all matching brand new tires, so I like that.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent trailer. So I mean, eventually we'll get our own trailer if that's in the cards. If the rates go up, we'll be out doing like lift gate stuff, and then you won't hear us complain about trailers anymore because it'll be us maintaining the trailer. Yeah. Would you recommend coming to Landstar? It really depends on where you're at now. Like if you're at a company job, or if you're at somewhere where you're making a dependable income and it's good for you, I'd say stay there for now. But if you're at some place like a Mercer, or if you're running the spot market already, it is a great place to come to.
It also depends on if you have a truck or if you have finances to get a truck.
Interested in Landstar, but I don't know about the 35%. Yeah, I mean, if you do the math with the fuel surcharge and stuff, it's more around like 72%, plus the really good fuel discounts and stuff. It's worth it, because right now we're getting better rates than you can find on the spot market currently. So, like, yeah, you figure 72% of a higher rate over what 80-20 splits is the most common.
But the big thing is, so it's 65%, but then we get 100% of fuel surcharge, and at least from our one experience at Prime, we get a lot more fuel surcharge, so that 100% offsets the 65% pretty heavily.
Yeah, and then like I said, the fuel discounts, man, you can't go wrong with those. They're great, and fuel is the biggest expense. So what is this? What do we got? You guys did right by going out on your own because you guys are smart people. You're young and you know what you want, and you make your own decision, and it's right or wrong. Yeah, that's kind of what we wanted from the beginning. Even at Prime, we just wanted to make the decisions. Like, since we were footing the bill for everything, the fuel, the truck, insurance, all the things that you had, we had all the risk involved, and it was just like everything was on you, except you had no control over your destiny, no control over the loads. Like, they would play these little mind games if you refuse a load and stuff. So it's just we just couldn't do it anymore. We'd rather come over someplace where we have full control. Is your fuel discount better than Mudflap? Yeah, it is. I was getting 88% on the spot market and no fuel surcharge or discount. Landstar was definitely the best option for me. Yeah. Is Liz crocheting? Yes. Do you want to show what you're crocheting?
Always. So real quick.
Just show what.
No, well, yeah, I'm making granny squares, but I made these, and then I realized that they needed to be this size, so I'm redoing them.
Yeah, so Mudflap gives you a pretty decent discount, but like I'm talking, there's times where we get over $1 a gallon off and stuff like that. So I've been watching since you were with Prime. Wow, that's a long time. We've been doing YouTube for 2 years now, I think, coming up on 2 years. So wow, no more. Yeah. 2.5 almost. Yeah, because there's a bunch of videos of when we were still at Prime that I kind of made private, So there's only like 2 Prime videos left, even on our channel. So most of the people don't even know who we were with Prime, other than the one that has like 250,000 views of us leaving Prime.
We don't talk about Prime.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody always swoops in and acts like we're like making fun of Prime. Like, we spent almost 3 years there. It's like, and I still send people there.
Yeah.
My cousin wants to get into over the road truck driving, and I sent him to Prime. So people can't even say that we hate on Prime. Well, they're going to anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What truck stop do you get most of your fuel? TA Petro.
Sometimes Loves. Mostly TA.
Not a truck driver, but love your videos. Thanks for letting us ride along. RN for vets. Yeah, you've been in Discord and in our YouTube for quite a while. Thanks for watching. Will you ever unlock those Prime videos? Nah, not really. It was a different time. We were targeting a different audience. It's just not. I don't know. Looking back now, just we weren't as comfortable in front of the camera. Well, I mean, Liz still isn't, but I wasn't. I didn't really. I don't care for the content anymore. It's not the kind of message or the direction that we want to go with the channel. So, yeah, probably not. They're probably never going to see the light of day again. I don't know. Maybe I'll unprivate a few and then like repost them or something. I don't know. Probably not.
I was thinking about the people that complained about me not being in videos much, and I usually just say, like, because I don't like being on camera. But if you join the Discord.
That's true. Yeah, if you want to talk to Liz, she's on there all the time. Especially in the food channel. Yeah. She's always posting what she's making for dinner and stuff.
Find me on Discord. I haven't done voice chats in a long time. Just because...
Randy asks, can a single driver make it with Landstar? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We know way, way more single drivers than team drivers. So there was actually one of the homies made himself this like nice triangle when rates were still good. And there were some weeks where he was making more than we were because he had a consistent triangle. Like he booked the same loads for months and months out. So on the weeks that we would struggle and like stumble with the load, or if a load would cancel and one would fall off, he was making more money than we were on some weeks. Benvin?
Yeah, but JD is still doing that.
Well, yeah, JD's got himself a nice... Yeah, I mean, there's so many people that have made themselves like their own, cut out their own niche, and that's what I love about Landstar. It's like it's a choose your own adventure, and there's so many different options. Like if you get on a dedicated, you can go and do those concert loads where you give them a block of your time and you get paid pretty well accordingly. Or you could do like what we do, where it's a new load every time and it's an adventure. There's people that want to be home all the time, so they make themselves a loop where they go out a few states over, come back, and just make a nice triangle that pays the bills. You know what you're going to get paid every week and stuff.
The dedicated freight does look like, I don't know, some of it's coming back, but at lower rates than it was before, and then some of the dedicated stuff is being renegotiated for lower rates. So, somebody said like, oh, well, you gotta just do dedicated stuff, but like a lot of dedicated disappeared when everything started going south a few months ago.
So also, you need to make the distinction. A lot of people call it dedicated. So there is dedicated stuff. Like you go and you put your truck in service for like Walmart, and they run you like one of their drivers, where every week you have an assignment, you know what you're going to do, and your truck is dedicated to that account. Or there is loads that reoccur every week and that are scheduled, and those people are booking them out for months and months and months. They do it so often that the agency is like, well, that's your run now. Let us know if you're going to go on vacation. We'll post it on the board, but otherwise it's your run. So there's 2 different options on that. I don't personally ever want to do the dedicated stuff where we like go be a Walmart driver or anything like that. But I like the stuff where like booking the consistent loads over and over.
The Tooele run disappeared. The High Vals out of California more or less disappeared, but that's a whole other thing.
Courtney asks, how often do you go on home time? Well, recently it's been quite a bit. Being off of I-81, we seem to go across the house quite a bit, but realistically, for like home time, we try to be out for like a month and a half before we go home for our week, 2 weeks,
Yeah,
whatever.
I think after this next home time in July, that we have a bunch of stuff scheduled to do, we'll
Yeah,
probably be
we'll
out
be
for 2
out.
months.
Yeah.
If we can stay away from the house.
Yeah. But it is nice to just be able to pop by the house here and there, maybe for a weekend or whatever, depending on how much time we have on a load,
Yeah.
rather than taking home time quite a bit. So, do you get many places with sit-down meals for truck drivers? Yeah, but
It's me.
we don't eat at truck stops or restaurants. We go to like Walmart's a lot, and we stock the truck, and Liz cooks some delicious meals that would put any of those restaurants to shame.
I have been cooking 100% on the truck for the last, what's it been, 6 months?
Yeah.
3 months? For sure.
Yeah, I can count on one hand how many times we've eaten at a restaurant. That's just kind of as a treat, not out of necessity.
Yeah, like this morning I got some Wendy's breakfast baconators and put them on some low carb wraps we have. But that's just because we hadn't come across a Wendy's and gotten breakfast there in a long time, and we kind of missed it. But
oh no, Nevada Trucking and Trails is here. He said that's what I've been doing, trying to be home on the weekends. Yeah, man, I haven't seen many videos come through on yours. I hope everything's going well with you guys. Let's see. Oh, Randy Hoffman is the guy that we met at Heber, California. I do the deck sets. Yeah, that's cool. I remember you. Yeah, unfortunately, you won't see us out there anymore. Most likely, that lady banned us from her loads because we messed up. But what are you gonna do?
didn't mean to.
Yeah, we didn't mean to.
I knew it was gonna happen.
The security guard got us, but you know, what are you gonna do? Let's see. Do you have any contacts with Canadian agents? I do not. We do.
That one that we called over in Quebec.
Oh, that guy called us.
That guy called. Well, I think we called on one, and then he called us or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't. We have no interest in going to Canada. I don't know any loads going to Canada. I don't even know how. I don't even have a passport, so I'm not going to Canada. So, no, I have no contacts for Canada, unfortunately. Sorry.
Talk to Ross.
Yeah, Johnson's Logic, if he ever posts on YouTube ever again. I got a buddy doing hazmat reefer, grossing $12K a week solo. Yeah, I mean, specialized freight is paying as long as you find somebody that has a JRG. I don't think it was JRG. It was Mitsubishi AC. It was like MSI or something like that. I can't remember. MSH or something. JRG does auto parts, but no, it wasn't them. Yeah, just taking a break. Yeah, I feel that. Sometimes I want to, but I don't know. YouTube stuff is kind of my hobby sometimes. Did you build your GTO for show or just your own personal car? It's definitely not a show car. We built it because it's a fun car and we want to have a cool car to drive around and have fun in and take it to like Cars and Coffee and maybe take it to the Jag Strip every once in a while. So, yeah, I don't know. We didn't really build it for a specific purpose other than just to have fun.
Yeah, it just made me think about the Prelude.
Yeah.
It's a deep, dark rabbit hole for me of perfectionism.
Yeah. Wendy's, no, I prefer roadkill. I don't know, I like Wendy's breakfast.
Yeah, their breakfast baconator slaps sometimes.
Would you pick the same truck or get something different?
What? What is that?
Would you get the same truck or pick something different? So I really like this truck. It is a base model in some aspects, and then it has some higher end options. There's a few options that I would pick on this, but yeah, I would do this again. Maybe not in white. I don't like fleet white, but you know, what are you gonna do? That doesn't stop us from making money, so I don't really care about the color. Ultimately, hey, Johnson's Logic's here. What up?
Oh, cause named 3 times.
Yeah, there it is. There he is. Let's see. What's your favorite route to run on? I don't know.
My gosh, you know it's been forever.
I like
15.
Yeah, 15's really nice, going up into like Utah, well, from Nevada all the way up. I also like Nebraska 2, NE 2, or
It's
Iowa
true.
2.
Yeah.
That like cut through, that place is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, all the places that we haven't seen in a long time because we've been stuck on the East Coast.
What's your dream car? I don't know.
I make a face like I don't know that I would say NSX.
Yeah, Liz
I
would
don't know
pick
what your dream car would be.
Acura NSX.
Yeah, first gen.
Yeah, first gen Acura NSX.
If anybody wants to buy me one.
I don't know. I'd really like a 69 or 70 fastback Mustang or something like that. It'd be rad if it was a Boss 429 or a Mach 1, but I doubt that's ever gonna happen.
So I guess Ross didn't want to do a live with us.
Well, I can't add them after the fact. Would you remove the hood mirrors? They look like bug eyes. Yeah, we would. The newer models have the nicer hood mirrors, but
some of them came with this
Yeah,
style.
the
Some of them
poverty
came with
ones.
the other ones, but
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean it's on the list eventually, but right now it's not gonna make us any money, and now's not the time of like.
they function, so they're at the bottom of the priority
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, right now we're just really saving money. We're not buying stuff that doesn't help the business. Now that we're done with the GTO and that's going to get tuned, we're really just trying to cut back on any kind of spending until the market turns back up. Let's see. Deep cleaning of the truck today. You going to go back to driving a truck?
That's not going to convince him to jump on live.
Yeah. It is.
See, you're already in the truck.
Wendy's, McDonald's, Subway, KFC, Burger King, you can't drive trucks on that stuff. Go have a good meal. Yeah, but we make our meals, so they're better than
I don't understand.
what you're gonna get at a restaurant anyways.
I make breakfast every morning, and then I want to have a treat of just being able to walk into some place and buy an easy, what we think is tasty breakfast. I mean, once every 6 months isn't going to kill you.
Are you, or would you ever consider leaving Landstar? No, not currently. We don't have any plans to. But I mean, things could change if something happens that would be detrimental to our business that can't be rectified. Then we would if we had to. But right now,
I know
no.
there's a lot of people out there that are making more than we make as solo drivers, but they're usually also company drivers, which is fine, especially if it's W-2 and you get benefits and stuff. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but there is something different about that we enjoy about our lifestyle that we've made, where we're not company drivers and we don't do the same thing every week. But definitely know that if we wanted to make more money, it's out there. It's just not, I don't know, it's not what we want to do. So if we can reach all of our goals doing what we want to do, then so what if somebody makes more?
Yeah, removing them could be free with the right parking spot. Yeah, I mean, I use the one on the right. The one on the left is useless, but no, we'll keep them on the truck until we get some nicer ones.
Plus, I don't know. I know I roll my eyes with like people that don't get the car stuff, but like trucks to me are like, I like it when it's clean. I like keeping it clean. I like a good looking truck, but to me, the truck is a utility, and I know everybody will kill me for saying that, but if it's clean and it functions and it's one color, good enough.
You ever have a problem with the car and your wife had the answer? Yeah, I mean, we bounce ideas off of each other all the time. I mean, it's not a competition. we have a conference.
Women brain can never come up with solution.
No, we work on the stuff together. I mean, you know. Oh, the reason he was asking is because we do a lot of FedEx FedEx loads. Yeah, I like having the option of running other stuff other than FedEx. FedEx is nice right now because it pays the bills, but I mean, if the market turns back up and there's higher paying loads doing like hazmat or other stuff, you know, we'll jump on that as well. But
so if we're honest, when rates were on fire, nobody wanted to look at that $3.50 a mile FedEx load. You know, that was like the poverty you had to take occasionally. But then the rates dip, and all of a sudden the FedEx stuff is looking really good and it's consistent. So you're booking all of it.
We didn't even know how good we had it. So we would go out to Utah from the house with this load that the agent would like hook us up with.
Yeah.
And then while we were heading out there, all the agents can see where you're going to be on a certain date. And they would always be trying to fill this FedEx run from Salt Lake to Edwardsville, Kansas. And it was paying like $3.50, but at the time, man, there was like $4.50, $5 a mile loads and stuff.
Out of Utah.
Yeah, well, maybe not out of Utah. Well, it was probably around $4, $3.50 or whatever out of Utah. But they would hit us up, and we just didn't want to drop the trailer because we had a nice trailer. But they would add money onto the top of the load to get us to run it, and we would some of the time. But now you can't even go to Utah hardly for any decent rate, and then getting out of Utah, you're at like sub $2 a mile load, and nobody's gonna add money to that bad boy. So it's just like how things can shift, you know, and that's the big thing that I talk about a lot is people have to shift their business to keep up with the market. You know, like there's some drivers that you know, put their feet down and they're like, I won't move for anything under $3 a mile. But when the whole market has shifted and everything is slightly under $3 a mile, you're just never going to find a load, or you're just going to sit and have so much downtime that it's not even, you know, like, what did you solve?
But remember all the old heads that always said, like, take care of the good agents when the rates are fire and you don't want to do them any favors. Like, you still have to remember that those are the people that are going to carry you through the hard times, and it's true. But we never burned any of those agents. I mean, we love all the agents that do all the LTL stuff. We're good with all of them. It's just getting harder and harder to find loads out of certain areas.
Tammy says, I usually tell those drivers, thank you and have a nice day. Are you an agent or a driver? You talking about the ones that won't move for over $3? Yeah, they're silly. But hey, whatever works for them, you know. Oh, cool. What agency, if you don't mind saying it?
Let's see if she said. Tammy Gray. Have we worked with a Tammy?
Yeah.
Tammy Van?
Maybe. I don't know. PIT? Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've ran stuff for you all quite a few times, actually.
Well, she probably knows JD really well. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Johnson's Logic doesn't drive. He says he does, but he doesn't. he forgot how. Some other Landstar drivers are having a weird situation with Landstar right now watching YouTube. They aren't happy with the way they're being treated. Yeah, I mean, so you'll see that a lot, and people can't separate themselves, like the situation from Landstar. So 9 times out of 10, the problems that they're having is not a Landstar problem. It's a agent problem, or it's a customer problem, or it's a choice that they made problem. It's not Landstar that's doing anything for them, but they, of course, it's the easiest thing to be like, oh man, Landstar, it's all Landstar, but like they give you so much freedom here. I can't even remember the last time that I talked to anybody from Landstar, other than like we had a load not show up on a pay stub, so we called them, they got it to us within 15 minutes. But like, nobody has told us what we need to do or have to do or anything like that. So any choices that we make, it's a result of us. So like if we booked this Amazon load and they would have held us all day, that's on us. I mean, that's us. We understand that Amazon is going to hold us. So it's not like a man, Landstar's not paying detention, because Landstar doesn't pay. They're not the ones that pay the detention. The customer pays it. They pay Landstar. Landstar pays us. It's not the agent, because the agent can't make the customer pay you detention. You know, if it wasn't already agreed upon, they can try. So there's a lot of things that people blame Landstar for, but in reality, it's not. It's not a Landstar problem, and it's not something that you can't go like to the spot market or Mercer or F2F or any of these other places. That problem is still going to be there. It's an inherent problem with the industry, with the choices that you make, how you run your business, anything like that. It's not necessarily a Landstar problem. Now, there are some things that are Landstar problems, like how long they take to like pay their bill with shops and things like that, that you could get mad at. But how often? You should not be in a situation where you're in that often. You know, like we've maybe made 2 videos in the last year where it's like, yeah, well, we're in the shop waiting for Landstar to pay this work order or whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah. There's also a lot of questions that people don't ask and then they get mad about later, and one of those is definitely detention if you think it's going to be an issue, or like people are surprised about things that they just probably shouldn't be surprised about. And if you didn't think to ask the question, I mean, I don't know, this is a different thing when you're an owner operator and calling on loads, even if it's on one load board for a company that you run for. Like, it's still on you to find out about those things, not be like shocked later when, you know, I don't know, you get held and then there's no detention.
Out of all the trucks on YouTube, I watched you, Trucking with Schmidt, and Trucking Together. Yeah, I haven't caught up with Trucking Together for a while, but I caught them when they bought that 579 because the fuel prices were outrageous. And I know they went to SIVA and Spot Market and bounced back and forth a few times, but I haven't kept up with them. Trucking with Schmidt, I don't think
The name is familiar.
I may have seen a few videos, but I don't really watch a whole lot of trucking stuff. I watch Nevada Trucking and Trails when he posts, because sometimes he gets himself into some spicy drama, and it gives me some entertainment for a little bit. But they're also good people, so I like keeping up with them. Fate Trucking, I watch his stuff all the time. He's a good homie, so I like to see what he's up to. You know, I just kind of check in on the homies and make sure everyone's doing good, you know? Yeah, you should talk to Nomad or Lone Star. They screwed Nomad over a personal conveyance and inspection violation on the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't screw him over, though. He had an issue with PC, and they just took away the PC, which is, the company's right. I mean, they're the ones responsible for the logs and the ELD stuff. So
Yeah.
that, I mean, it sucks. I don't know the full situation. I saw bits and pieces of it on his stuff. I don't recall what he did, but I saw the video after. But I mean, it's not like they didn't cancel his contract or anything. They just took away PC. But
So, okay, so Ross, so you say this like once a year. It's been like once a year since we met you. It's like you're coming back to YouTube. You're gonna be explaining it. You have a bunch of videos edited. You have like it's just like once a year. You're like, I'm gonna do all this, and then maybe you'll post 1 or 2, and then.
Hey Dennis, what happened with Lone Star? I don't follow him. I don't really know that channel, but I mean, what happened with them? I mean, the Nomad stuff, yeah, I could see. You know, it kind of sucks. He fought for his PC back, but like I said, at the end of the day, I mean, they don't play around with their PC usage. If you get a violation, they usually just take your PC. Yeah, but I don't know the ins and outs of what he did or didn't do. But yeah, I'll be explaining that on the first video I post. Yeah, and then there'll be a dead period for a while. We want you to post more, Ross. Johnson's Logic. You know, we just want to see the homies do well. And if you don't post or jump in Discord, we don't know if you're doing well. We'll see how many squares that Liz crochets while on the live tonight.
I wasn't even keeping count.
Yeah.
It's like 2 or 3.
So that's her hobby. I like editing the YouTube videos, playing guitar when I have the time. I went and got Final Fantasy 16 yesterday. So that was an adventure. We were in Rochester, New York, and there was a Walmart down the street, but none of the Walmarts had the game. It came out yesterday. So there was a Walmart with a GameStop across the street. So we rolled in there. It was not a very truck-friendly area. We rolled in. It says no truck parking, no idling. This is a residential neighborhood. So I had to cross this like super busy road, walk down there, grab the game. It was a mess, but got it. We didn't hit anything, didn't get any tickets. Everything was good. So
There were other trucks parked there.
Russ has got to run off. Have a few more things to do before I can do computer stuff. Be safe. Great seeing you guys. Yeah, thanks for dropping by, man. We're just giving you a hard time. We just want to see you post more. They screwed Landstar out of a $510 lumper load at a food warehouse. How? As long as you submit the receipt, you get paid. I don't know, maybe I gotta find that guy and watch the video and see what happened. We try not to take a whole lot of loads that have lumper fees, but as long as you get it in writing from the agent that they will pay the lumper fee, when you submit a receipt, I mean, we just pay it out of pocket. We don't get Landstar to put money on or anything. He was also delayed at a receiver for 6 hours and wouldn't unload him. Because they wouldn't pay the lumper, or he didn't pay the lumper? Because I mean, for us, we don't wait around. Or, like, a lot of people won't pay their money up front, so they'll have Landstar load their comm data card and then write a comm check for the lumper. But you just have to submit the receipts and you get paid. I've never heard of anybody not getting paid unless he lost a receipt or didn't do the procedure properly or something.
Didn't we lose a receipt?
That was with Prime.
It was like $300 something dollars.
The second most expensive lumper fee that we had paid at Prime.
We just took it on the chin because that was RL.
Yeah. But I mean, how we deal with lumpers is I get the agent to confirm the email that we just need to pay the lumper fee, and they'll put it on the freight bill, and then we
I usually shoot them a picture of everything too when we're done and just make sure that everything's good. But yeah, I don't know how you don't get paid back, or like if you call settlements and they somehow refuse to pay you back for a lumper.
He
weird.
said no, it was the load he ran. They wouldn't take him or other Landstar driver, and other Landstar drivers were jumping ahead of him. Yeah, but
Why?
How is that a Landstar problem? That seems like a customer problem. Like, I just want to know what problems he's having with Landstar that he wouldn't be having with potentially any other company.
But if they're taking other loads from Landstar drivers, was it something that the agent didn't do?
Yeah, there's got to be more to the story. Yeah, I'm not trying to grill you on it. I just want to know what problems he's having specifically with Landstar. I mean, a lot of people have problems in the trucking industry. We have problems in it too, but it's just it's all like agent or customer stuff. It's not anything with like the Big Blue. Final Fantasy 16 has come out. Is it on Xbox? No, I think it's on PlayStation 5 exclusive right now. It might be PC later, but yeah, it came out yesterday, 22nd. I think today is the 23rd. What are your plans once you pay off the truck? Run the truck payment free for a while and buy land and a house. Build a house, buy a house, something. Something with a giant garage so that we can buy a whole bunch of cars that we don't need that are good deals, and then we can fix them and work on them.
Something that can house our future shop. Somewhere where we can run power for a welder.
How long before your truck is paid off? Pretty much a year and 2 months.
Yeah, so September is our buyout date. July is when we start contacting banks and stuff. And then, so somewhere around August or September, we'll have more.
Okay, he
on
said,
that.
I believe it was a miscommunication with the broker and him. Yeah, I mean, stuff like that happens, and it really sucks. And then some of the agents that are not good agents are very bad to work with, but you gotta know who you can rely on and who you are going to be out to the wind by yourself. There are definitely some very good agents that will fight tooth and nail for you. You don't even have to ask them, you just let them know the situation and they go to bat for you. And then there's some that will answer the phone like new phone who dis, and then you're just on your own. He uploaded a video 3 days ago that he was put on probationary hold by Landstar. Are we talking about Lone Star or Nomad? Because I thought Nomad stuff was taken care of, but I don't know Lone Star. I think that was, I don't know.
Is Lone Star who I think it was?
I think he was the guy that didn't strap his hazmat totes down. If he has a black International Lone Star, it's most likely him. But he put straps in front of the IBC totes and not over, not like rainbow straps, so it didn't stop relative motion of side to side, and they all shifted when he made a U-turn. Yes, he needed a 120-day inspection. Yeah, they definitely put you on hold for that stuff. But. Oh, Aussie says we're going to digital logbooks now, talking about eye movement monitors in your truck as well. Yeah, I mean we've only ran with ELDs, so it's nothing to us.
Eye movement monitor though.
Yeah, that's wild. I don't know if
Don't like that.
Oh yeah, he said yeah, that's him. Yeah, so I don't know the guy. I just saw him in one of the Facebook groups, but he was trying to blame it on how the customer loaded it, but I mean, with hazmat stuff, it's your responsibility to strap it down properly. But it was a bad situation all the way around. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But oh, Dennis, you leaving? Thanks for stopping by, man. It was great having you here. No, I would say Pitt is one of the good agencies we like to work with. We don't ever have any problems. My son drives for Snyder, and they run on digital logbooks, I believe. Yeah, pretty much any. There's a few exceptions, but pretty much any large carrier is on ELDs now. I think they were Werner. Werner was the pioneer in the 80s or 90s of getting. I think it was 90s of getting ELDs. Ever get tired of OTR? Would you go local? We don't really have a house of our own or a reason to be local right now, so no.
It's like a ever-changing, ever-moving thing of like what we want to do or what our plans are. Because maybe if we had a house and we wanted to like work on getting our own automotive-related business up and going, I might be down to do something local just to like fill in the pay gap. But
Yeah, so
right
far,
now.
I mean, we're almost 5 years in, haven't gotten tired of it, so we're just gonna keep rolling. And I think a lot of it has to do with how we run our truck and, um, you know, make sure we take ample time off, eating on the truck so we're not like slowly killing ourselves with junk food. Just, I don't know, just having fun. We would like to, we get out of the truck, go to Walmart's, and stop by. We bought a guitar out on the road. Stopped by and got some guitar accessories a few weeks later and stuff. So if Liz needs a special part for her crochet stuff, if we find a Michaels, we can stop by there. We get by the house enough. So no, we're not bored of OTR yet, and I mean maybe someday, but the way we run our truck is exactly the way that we want to, and I think it's better for us long term, so we don't get burnt out, because the driver burnout is real out here. If you don't have a goal, two, if you don't have a network of friends that like kind of keep you sane, I mean you can lose yourself in that like 10 or 11 hours that you're driving, and then all the solitude of like living in the truck alone. I mean, the trucks with a lot of lights, do they need to do anything special to make them work? I mean, short answer, kind of. Long answer, you would need heavier gauge wire and maybe some sort of relay. Once you add that many lights on a truck, the power draw would heat up the wire. A lot of amperage running through the wire. So you probably need a thicker wire to run that many lights at the very least. Maybe a larger fuse. But I mean, LED lights don't draw a ton of power, so I don't know. Me personally, if I was putting all the chicken lights on a truck and trailer, I would definitely run a thicker gauge wire. You can move up here to North Dakota and do snow removal. It'd probably pay the bills for the rest of the year. Yeah, but then I'd have to be in North Dakota. I don't do well in like really, really cold. I don't like being really, really hot or really, really cold. Somewhere in between. I don't know. Doesn't sound like a lot of fun to me. I've never done snow removal, but I'm sure it can't be super bad.
Sounds
right?
dangerous.
Neither do I. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, going to like the desert during the summer is bad enough. When you have to like get out from your truck to the truck stop or fuel or something in 110 degree weather, that's enough for me. Or
My skin definitely doesn't like super dry weather.
or if we mess around and end up in like the northern part of the states during the winter and it gets into negatives, I don't have a good time. I'm not a fan. Man, going on almost an hour. Got 38 people here. I think that's kind of what keeps me going. I talk to my friend and girlfriend daily, plus I have a dog on my truck. Yeah, exactly. So you have to have a purpose being there, and like our purpose is paying the truck off so that down the road we can buy land cash, build a house cash, not have like a 30-year mortgage. Everything that we're buying is cash. So like we have reasons that we're out here, and then we have the Discord with a ton of drivers. We have some really close friends that we've made there, doing the YouTube stuff. All of that keeps us grounded enough to like just not lose yourself. It's way easier for a solo driver to get lost in your own head for all that time. So yeah, having a dog is great. Talking to friends is excellent. Having a purpose for being out here.
This reminded me of the joke. You're not crazy if you talk to your pets. It's when they start talking back to you.
Yeah. It's good for you. It's nature sauna. Yeah. You're out in those places where some of those truck stops, man, the pavement melts down into like craters.
I can smell truck stops in the summertime.
Oh, plus I'm motivated to pay my truck off this coming January. Yeah, man, that's what it's about, getting it paid off. What do you expect your odometer to read when it's paid off? Probably around 350,000 miles, something like that. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, not very much.
Yeah, I mean we don't put down a ton of miles. So yeah, I would say somewhere around 350,000 miles would probably be a good estimate. Maybe 400 if things pick up and we can start getting these like coast to coast runs back. But right now they're not paying anything, so a lot of short runs in a week is kind of what we're at. A couple day runs, but pick up, drop off, same day kind of stuff. That's where we're at. I know you guys probably have quite a few miles. I know at one point you I can't remember the last time that you posted a video that showed the mileage that I saw, but yeah, you guys are way ahead of us on miles. Miles would be will probably be 600,000. How many did you start with, Trucking Gamer? And where do you work, if you don't mind me asking? I know we got drivers from all over. Woo.
Dropping their trailers.
I'll be pushing 700 to 800K if we keep the same pace, but we slow down. Yeah, I mean everybody's slowed down, unfortunately.
Is that Nevada?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many do you have on it currently? Sitting at 400K. Yeah, so you guys are almost double what we have.
Well, and I was thinking about that Freightliner that we started at with Prime. Didn't we turn it back in after a year, or was it more than a year?
It was more than a year. Yeah, that one was like.
Sure, it was more than a year?
Yeah, it was like almost 2. That had
Was it?
what, 250?
But we were there for like
280,000.
2.5 years, and we went through quite a few Peterbilts. I thought we had the Freightliner for a year.
I don't think we had a Peterbilt for longer than a year.
No, but that's what I'm saying. The Freightliner we had for like a year and a half, maybe, waiting on
Yeah.
the black truck to be built.
Yeah.
But when we turned it in, did it have like 250?
I think it was like 275.
Yeah. So we burned up the miles on that truck.
Yeah. My truck was a old company truck at Stevens. Okay, cool. My truck is at 292K. Yeah, ours is at 220. Aussie is heading out. Catch you on the flip flop. All right, man. Enjoy your breakfast.
Guess it's Saturday morning there?
Yeah.
Saturday morning.
8 o'clock in the morning now. Yeah, I mean, we were doing well with probably like 4,500 miles here and there a week when we could do those coast to coast runs, but man, they're just non-existent. We were doing that run out to Tooele and then we would run back, but now we saw, I guess, some other agency undercut the agent that we were working with, and it's posted up for absolute trash.
$1 less, more than $1 less from the height of when we were doing that load.
I can't imagine doing that load. It's a hazmat load that takes you across to Utah from Virginia, and Utah is a complete dry market, so you're not getting anything worthwhile out of there. So one, to take a hazmat load that far across the country is absolutely trash, and two, to go to a complete dead-end market, like the driest of dry, like, you know, the salt flats, that's how dry the market is how dry that salt flat is.
I really wonder if anybody calls on that load posted for that much. There's got to be somebody out there.
I don't know, maybe somebody
right?
that happens to be on the East Coast and needs to get home in like Utah or
Maybe.
something,
I hope not, because it's trash.
but okay. Had it since it was brand new, took custody of it in April of 2018. Nice. So you're almost done paying it off? That's awesome, man. Yeah, I guess that, what, 5 years? Coming up 5 years? Not bad, not bad. Hopefully it's made you a ton of money. In Nevada, you guys are planning to keep the truck after you like pay it off and everything, right? You, what's the long-term plan? You gonna run it until it needs a rebuild, or you just gonna run it for a while and then flip it for a new one? Let's see. Yeah, we're gonna be at this truck stop for another day and a half. We need to get ready. Our pickup is Sunday at early, isn't it? I don't even remember.
So, see, so I've been meaning to go back and peek at the details. I just know it's Sunday morning at some point. I thought
Yeah,
for
just
some reason
keeping
this
it
one
and
was gonna
rebuilding
be
it. Okay.
drop and hook. But
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get rid of this trailer.
Okay.
It's hoopty.
I thought we had said that we weren't doing a drop and hook until Iowa. But I was pretty sure that this one was going to be a drop and
Yeah,
hook.
I think this one is, but
Picking it up Sunday morning.
yeah, that's a good idea. Just keeping that. It's such a pretty truck. Keeping it and getting a rebuild. Hopefully the rates are coming back up, man.
They got it at some point, right?
Are you guys still with that same company? I know you went back to having them dispatch you for a while. Upfront costs is too much. Yeah, it's very true.
For what?
New truck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Especially right now, man, with all the uncertainty, it's so hard to like commit to a new truck. And the bubble has popped on the used truck market. Finally, they're starting to go back down to reasonable prices. So I'm hoping by the time we get ready for a trailer, the trailer prices will be reasonable as well. But I don't know if we're gonna have to buy a trailer and then get a liftgate installed, or if we can find a
big money
decent used liftgate trailer. But it looks like the liftgate rates haven't slowed down much at all. There was like $4 or $5 mile loads. Yeah, that's the plan. Keep it for as long as possible, and possibly even get my trailer, do exactly what you guys are planning, buy land and build a family. Yeah, I mean that's the way to do it. If you can buy the land and build the house and stuff while the truck is still making you money instead of costing you money in maintenance and stuff, just get it out of the way, and then you can do whatever you want. Yeah, we're still here, doing good, rates on spot, and we have some dedicated DOD loads that pay good. Yeah, those DOD loads, man, that's the ticket. I don't know, we were so back and forth on that. There's some things that I don't like about the DOD loads that Landstar runs. I don't know if it's specific for DOD or if it's Landstar requirements, but we didn't really care for it, so we never went for it. But obviously in times like this, you're like,
how bad would the rates have to get?
Right. Yeah, so we're getting to the point where a lot of the things that we were like, nah, we don't want to do that, we're getting to like, it can't be that bad, right? Yeah, that the video that I'm going to be editing and putting up tomorrow, we did an Amazon load, which I don't know how many times we said, nope, not doing Amazon, not going to do that, not at all. Because like the typical Amazon warehouse keeps you all day, and like the tension is pennies, and sometimes you like lose your trailer because it's like a drop and hook but not a drop and hook, just weird stuff.
With no hook.
Yeah, drop with no hook. So we picked up at this place, we walked in, and there was absolutely nobody. Like our voice echoed through the entire warehouse. There was one guy there. He loaded us in like 20 minutes. And I was like, man, there's no signage. Like, how often do you ever roll up to an Amazon warehouse and there's no like signage or anything? And he's like, oh yeah, we're closing down anyways in like a month, so we don't have the signs up and we don't care. And then when we delivered, it was to an Amazon robotics place
Brand
that they were building. They were actively building. So we brought them like lithium batteries that go in like forklifts, and I guess the robotic machines that send stuff on the conveyor belts and stuff. And so it wasn't a normal Amazon load,
Yeah.
thankfully,
Yeah.
because they didn't monopolize our time and steal our soul through sitting in front of a door. But that one actually paid pretty good. And then yeah, it didn't take long at all. I like that one, but you never know dealing with Amazon. Like, it's not labeled as like, hey, this isn't a normal, like, every white Volvo is pulling this Amazon Prime trailer doing 90 miles an hour with their feet on the dash watching a movie type place. Yeah, because those are a mess. That's where you see everybody parked on the street along like the Amazon warehouses. Those are like the consumer warehouses. I guess what we went to was more the I don't know, manufacturing or robotics or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it looked more like a factory than a warehouse, which was interesting because I've only ever really seen buildings with the blue stripe that are warehouses.
The white Volvo Mafia. Hey man, I'm just saying what you typically see pulling Amazon Prime trailers. And then during the wintertime, they're always in the ditches sleeping, taking a nap. Yeah, fun stuff. But yeah, I think our adventure through Rochester, yep, 8:40 bye for now. Thanks for stopping in, Aussie. Catch us on the next one, man. Love to chat. That was good. I think our adventure into Rochester Walmart was worth getting that game. So far, it's been really good. I've enjoyed it. And also, I knew we were going to have a lot of downtime in between our next load. So, what's next for the GTO? July 10th, we're taking it from Northern Virginia to Richmond. We're getting it final tuned so that we can drive it as hard as we want. And then we're going to drive it down to my dad's, which is southeastern part of Virginia. And we're going to work on a Chevelle and probably just drive the GTO around. As far as like any mods, I don't really think. Just a bunch of maintenance stuff. The car's getting older, so bushings need to be replaced, and like the oil pan leaks a little bit of oil.
Well, maintenance, but also like I want to get fresh headlights. We need to get a new lip. We need to redo the headliner. We need to get some different pieces painted. He wants to try to make some aero mirrors work on it.
Yeah,
So,
nothing,
just a little stuff
nothing
here and
big.
there.
Just a lot of housekeeping items, like, you know, cleaning up the headlights or getting different ones. And yeah, like she said, doing the headliner, we might do it in like suede or something. But just a lot of
Alcantara.
Alcantara, yeah, that one. Just a lot of driving it and enjoying it.
That was me knowing something that you didn't know.
There you go. Car thing. Yeah, I mean, we have built it pretty close to exact of what we want. You know, there's a few like little things here and there, but nothing major that we need.
Maybe looking for some of the red inserts for the interior.
Yeah.
That was
So
maybe.
nothing big. If the transmission ever dies, we can get it rebuilt.
Yeah. The transmission is sus.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. The rear diff is leaking too, isn't it?
Yeah, it does. I wish you guys would mount a camera on your driver's side mirror for backups. The view out of the windshield doesn't really do much. Yeah, so I get where you're coming from, and I often give that same critique myself, but you just have to remember that we are truck drivers first. So there's a lot of times where I don't have time to set the camera up accordingly, like we need to get out of somebody's way, or I need to get backed in. quickly. So the easiest thing is to slap it on the visor, film out the front windshield, and just go. So if I don't have a whole lot of time, I just do that. I feel you, and I do want to get other camera angles. I'm starting to get more comfortable with taking the time that I need to set up whatever I want to do, and then back in.
The aerial views.
Yeah,
On
so
the thing that shall not be named that we definitely don't use.
yeah, like give me a little bit of credit. We did some aerial footage the last 2 videos, and then there'll be one on the next video as well. So
Yeah.
that should really give you the knack of the situation of what we're backing into. I will try to make a more of an effort to do more with the camera. I used to slap it on like parts of the trailer and you know, get these like cool dynamic shots, but you just get.
Didn't you put it on the mirror one time and it fell off or something? Didn't that happen in Pennsylvania?
I put it on the window, and then I had to roll down the window.
The window is what it was, because you had
rolled
that angle, that same angle of like down the side of the truck,
Yeah.
like it was on the mirror, because there's really not anywhere to clip the GoPro mount easily on the mirror, you know. So if you put it on the window, then you have to remember it's on the window before you lose it and it smashes into the ground.
Yeah. So I think that was the biggest thing. So right now, I have this like clamp. It's like a little clampy thing, so you can clamp it on items, but on the side of the truck, there's not really an easy place to clamp it that would get it far enough out so that you could see a lot. But I will work on that. I do have a suction mount that I can put on and try to get some more dynamic shots. I'll work on that for you, but you better comment that you like the views if I put in the effort. But I'm also doing a lot of the drone shots as well.
I was trying not to say drone. I know they probably don't care, but
yeah, on a live video, I don't really care.
I don't think that they care. It's the hashtagging.
Do you guys know the process of getting onto Landstar when in the process of getting a truck? Is it a long process to lease on? So yes, it is a long process to lease on, whether you have a truck or you're getting a truck. So,
but if you're getting a truck,
so
there's extra hoops.
It's catch-22, because a lot of times when you're getting a truck, they need a God, what do they call it?
So the inspection stuff?
No, they have an agreement that they're going to hire you on contingency that you're going to get a truck.
Yeah.
Or yeah. So the place that you're getting the truck needs Landstar to say, yeah, we'll hire them if they had a truck, and then Landstar needs something that says, yeah, we're going to give you a truck if we get hired on. So you have to get both of the processes up just enough so they intersect, and then you can finish the paperwork with the truck. You'll get as far as you can with Landstar. You have to take the truck to get an initial Landstar inspection.
But you don't get the license plates until orientation, right?
Right.
So
yeah.
that's
So
the other
it's
big
super
thing.
sketchy to go pick up your truck because you
have to pay for trip permits.
You're supposed to pay for trip permits, but those don't go over state lines. So you're going to end up probably driving the truck through the night with no plates, no IFTA, no dot numbers, nothing.
What is it? The temporary insurance that we did pay for?
Yeah, you do need insurance. You need
temporary
bobtail insurance, no matter what. You can't. Most places won't even let you pick up the truck without it, and Landstar won't let you.
You need that. Yeah, that's right. The permits didn't end up working out, but we looked into them.
A promise to hire note. Yeah, pretty much. They had a fancy name for it, but yeah, it's pretty much an agreement.
Yes, I agree to hire you if you have a truck. Yeah, I'll give you a truck if you have a place that's going to hire you.
Yeah, so we went through this process, and it was super frustrating because you get to a roadblock in both of the processes where the truck people were like, hey, we need to know that the company's going to hire you before we can give you the truck. And we're like, okay, cool. So Landstar, do you want to hire us? And they're like, yeah, we'll hire you if you have a truck. I'm like,
I don't.
Yeah, so we have this problem where we can't do either. So it took us a little while.
Yeah.
And then the biggest holdup was getting that initial inspection. So my advice is to, once you get the truck, immediately take it to the closest place to get a Landstar inspection, get that stuff submitted. drive through the night if you have to get it home, and then once you get your orientation date confirmed, they'll send you the plates and everything.
See, was that what it was? Did they send you the plates before orientation?
No, they sent you the plates after orientation.
Yeah, it was after orientation. But you don't always have to take the truck to orientation though. Is the other thing. That they're not super clear
The
about.
ELD is super easy to install yourself, especially if you get the Motive one or whatever. They're not OmniTrack. You can install it yourself, so you don't even need to take the truck. So get the truck home while you have the temporary insurance, because it only usually lasts for a few days or a week.
And it really depends on what orientation place you're going to, because I think Carnesville, Georgia has a lot more like shop stuff.
Yeah.
For people to actually work on the truck, so it might be more in your benefit to take the truck there. But if you're going to Reedsville, Pennsylvania, they don't have anything for like they have truck parking, but they don't do anything there for the truck. So taking the truck to orientation there was pretty useless. But
what do you guys like more about your Peterbilt over the past Cascadia? Well, so with the Cascadia, your spine was like a shock absorber because it felt like there was next to no shock absorption in the road. I just didn't like the ride on the Freightliner. There was zero chance of me sleeping while we were rolling down the road. Whereas on the Peterbilt, like I can sleep if I'm tired enough on here. Plus, the bed in the Peterbilt is a lot wider. And what else? I like the top bunk up here folds in half, so it makes this like nice storage cubby. So basically, from here to here, the front half comes up, so it's this big like tray, and you can stuff a bunch of stuff up there, and it doesn't come flying out at you. I don't know. The Cascadia had a nice, spacious interior that you could put as large of a fridge as you wanted,
and great cabinet space.
DD15 was good. Yeah, the cabinet space was nice.
Freightliner had a lot of good things going for it. How much money did we spend on those Fox shocks? $2,000?
Yeah, it was almost $3,000.
Yeah, we spent so much money trying to make that truck ride as well, at least as like half as decent as the Peterbilt, and it was so deflating. Like we spent all that time. We even had a machine shop, had to remount, I guess is the only term for it, the bottom of the shock mount so the bolt could fit through. Like we went through so much effort to get those Fox shocks on the truck, and it did improve it, but it was slightly better than brand new, but like.
So we spent all that money, and it didn't even come up to the ride quality that the Peterbilt has out of the box. Like we replaced the shocks with just OEM shocks on this because they're good.
I wanted it to work so bad, y'all.
Yeah.
So bad. I loved that truck.
I think I liked the Cascadia setup was amazing. It was good, but if it rode anywhere near like the Peterbilt does, I also like the longer wheelbase on the Peterbilt.
And I think there's a lot more isolation on the cab itself with the Peterbilts, and that's part of the problem with the Freightliner design. Is like it's basically like they just bolted directly to the frame, like the cab itself, and there's shocks, but they don't do anything. So it's like having solid bushings on a car, where then like all of the vibration from the road is being transferred directly into the car, and you just shaking your teeth out.
That's true. Like, there wasn't really like a leveling switch for the cab bags. I think they just filled up max full, and then the shocks would absorb it.
Right.
But
it's funny when you're like going around a turn, you hear the cab leveling out.
If you go through a parking lot and it's like rocking, you can hear like the bags filling and deflating on the Peterbilt.
So there's just more isolation on the Peterbilts.
I'm in Florida. I see they have a terminal in Jacksonville. Do they do orientation out of the Jacksonville terminal? They do. They do. I'm kind of jealous about the top bunk. My T680 got a full bunk, so it's like laying underneath a prison bunk, which is where I store everything. Yeah, that's how
Yeah.
we did it in the Freightliner too. We had a net that kind of went over to keep the stuff sorted. But yeah, I like this because I can, like, I don't feel so claustrophobic. But yeah, that's the perfect way to describe it. Like, feels like a prison bed, because it definitely did. It feels, the whole space feels way more open. Because like we would not be able to film in a Freightliner in the bunk, because you'd have this half covering all the light, so it'd be like we were in
True.
a dark hole. Engine preference. I don't know. I like the Cummins X15. It's been good. It's been super good. I don't really. I don't know. We've only had 3 different motors, like the DD15, the MX13, and the Cummins X15, and
That DD15 pulled so well though, and it was so reliable, and it got such good fuel economy.
yeah,
So that's the thing too, is like you ask engine preference, but like there's a big difference between like modern DEF motors, like all the crazy technology they're putting on them, and like a motor from back in the day that probably, you know, got worse fuel economy, or but might have been more reliable, or you know, there's ups and downsides to everything. But in terms of like modern motor and that we've had in trucks, the Cummins has been a lot better than the MX-13. But
yeah.
the DD15 is still would still be my choice
At
if
the
I
end,
could like
yeah.
marry a Peterbilt or like a KW or whatever. If I could marry the chassis, the body, the suspension, everything, and then just put a DD15 in it, that would be like my perfect truck.
Yeah, so our engine preference is one that won't end up in the shop all the time. And so
Yeah.
far the Cummins and the Detroit were the only ones that did that. The MX-13 we kept popping back in the shop quite a bit. A lot more than we should have, I
I
think.
guess to be fair, that black truck, it wasn't necessarily a motor issue that kept us in the shop for a month, but
Yeah, but even the other one, we ended up with the sensor issues. We had
yeah,
the
we did have a lot of issues with
the sensors in the DPF
and we knew
area.
people that had lots of issues with the motors and their
Nevada said, I ordered those
vehicles.
Fox shocks. They were on back order forever. I canceled my order. Yeah, so I don't even know if they even make, if they're still manufacturing. So we ordered them
Was that 19?
4 years. Yeah, it would have been 4 years ago, and they were brand new. They didn't even have the proper model numbers for like a 2018. Yeah, because
Ours is a 2020.
it was, yeah. So they
Yeah,
didn't
it
have
was
2020. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they didn't even have the model number for that. So I don't even know if they were still. There was only like one site that even had them, and
Yeah, we've made a lot of calls and a lot of
it
guesswork.
was weird. I don't know.
But we have
Yeah.
a really nice little machine shop in Stanton. Shout out to Machine Works of Stanton. They're always nice guys. They get stuff done really fast and
Yeah, we had to
reasonable
make
prices.
them work because they sent us ones for like the previous model year,
Yeah.
and the shock bolt wouldn't go through
But everything else worked about them.
the bottom shock. Yeah, so we had to get that board out. But
Yeah.
it's
Bored out,
weird.
better word.
I don't know if, yeah, I don't know if they're still making them, or if that was just kind of like a splash in the pan and then it was gone.
Well, they're so expensive compared to.
Yeah, longer
regular
wheelbase, I
truck
will
stops.
say, will help give a better ride more than anything. Yeah, but also the Freightliner uses like spring arms instead of actual springs, and like the shock is offset. It's weird. It has a weird setup. So even if the wheelbase was longer to match, I don't think it would ride as well. Even then.
Like I said too, in terms of you're sitting or laying in the cab, and if there's no isolation between you and the suspension, you're just gonna be feeling everything in the suspension. It's gonna be going through your spine.
Yeah, but a longer wheelbase definitely does help.
Yeah, for sure.
We notice it just in,
Slightly longer Peterbilt.
yeah. Not to mention you don't you have to turn a lot sharper to even risk touching the fins on the back of the cab.
That was the other thing though too, was the turning radius with the
Oh
Freightliner.
yeah, those Freightliners, man. You could
So
whip
good.
those in anywhere, man. That was the most nimble truck that we had, but I I don't know. We've never had a problem with the Peterbilt where we couldn't get into a spot or a dock or anything like that. But I don't know. I would give up that nimbleness for a comfortable ride any day. But man, that thing was wild. When you go to alley dock, you would just like set up and you immediately turn the wheel all the way, and like you get the cab swinging quite a bit, and then you come out of it.
Took me a long time to adjust from backing the Freightliner to backing the Peterbilt. I was like, all right, we're not turning the wheel automatically all the way and holding it.
All right, Trucking Gamers heading out. Yeah, man, thanks for stopping by and chatting with us. It was good to see you. Hop in the next one. I don't know when the next one we're going to do, but yeah, so when we first transitioned from the Freightliner to the Peterbilt, we were still at Prime, and I swear for the first week, I could not get that truck into a spot. It was just so radically different in how you needed to set up, how much turning radius the truck had, just the longer wheelbase translated into like the differences in when you needed to come out of the angle and stuff like that. So it was so bad. We were trying to set up the same way that we were driving the Freightliner, and we would end up with the trailer kind of coming back at more, over rotating into the trailer next to us and stuff. So it was so discouraging for that first week. I'm like, I know how to drive. What is the problem?
I can't imagine going from like a day cab or like to a condo sleeper or something, because like the difference between the Freightliner and the Peterbilt really wasn't that great in terms of like wheelbase and stuff. So I can't imagine going from like something even more nimble to something with even worse turning radius.
It just kind of changes the pivot angle. But it's weird until you like figure that part out. Have you driven a Kenworth? Nope. No, they're pretty close to the Peterbilt though. Pretty much same like running gear. It's just interior differences.
Yeah, because when we were at Prime, they didn't have Kenworths, and when we were looking for trucks, I don't think SFI had Kenworths, or did they? We looked at Volvos.
Yeah, I don't think they had Kenworth at SFI.
I think this place just had Freightliners and Peterbilts, so never been an option.
Cap over, gotta watch some steers or you'll hop some curves. Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
We were looking at a hood truck at one point.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, so we put in an application. A dealership had a Stevens. Was it Stevens?
Smith's Transport.
Oh, Smith Transport. 389 that had a double bunk.
Transport. I think Transport.
It's Transport. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it has the yellow and green logo with the white font. I've seen a ton of their trucks, but it popped up in the dealership. It was 2018, had 200,000 miles. It had a weird spec. It was the MX-13, and it had the Ultra Shift, and it had double bunk, and it had like it was a full height roof, and then it had one of those caps on top as well. And it had a weird fifth wheel setup. Something was weird about the tanks too. I think they were smaller tanks than normal, or I don't remember. And it had a whole lot of the stuff that mega carriers put in, like the proximity sensor ahead of you and the blind spot. It was a weird truck. And at the time, I think that was right at the start of the crazy prices. We put it in, and the bank just wanted, I don't know, they wanted more of a down payment than we were really wanting to put down, especially for a used truck. So that didn't work out, but it would have been cool. It was It's a pretty truck, definitely pretty truck. But I don't know. We didn't even know how bad the fuel was gonna get. I don't think anybody
Oh,
expected that.
it's true. At that point, it was still cheap.
Yeah, it was. The fuel prices were the least of our worries
You're
at
like,
that point.
how bad can it be? Even with an aero truck, I almost immediately started slowing down to try to get better fuel economy when
Yeah.
fuel started going over $4 a gallon.
Yeah, and that's what we've kind of had to do now is just drive accordingly, just wherever we can save the money. When those weeks that the loads just don't line up super efficiently, or if we can't find decent stuff, we slow the truck down to save more. And then every
Yeah.
time we go home, I like cook stuff on the smoker, and then we freeze
Yeah,
seal
with
it,
vacuum
vacuum.
sealer.
Yeah, that word, vacuum seal it,
Yeah, so
and
I have
then
that
freeze it.
freezer full of smoked meats and then frozen like green beans and broccoli. Make some good meals with that. And burgers, because burger salads are life.
Ever had a truck with the fold-up bed and table and the seating that popped up from underneath? Yeah, so the Volvo that I trained on had that, I don't remember what they call it, like dinette set or whatever. They had some fancy name for that as well, but I don't remember what the option was called. But we ended up just never using it because we ran the absolute wheels off that truck
Yeah.
during training.
Ross loves his though.
Yeah, Ross uses it all the time. We met up with him in Vegas and saw his truck.
That was a
Pretty cool
really
setup.
really nice setup because I went over to his truck and visited.
Yeah, if you were a solo guy, or if you did what we do, where we kind of run like a driver and a half, or we have some downtime, it would be fantastic to have that table set up. But he sleeps up in the top bunk because he leaves the table and stuff down. So I wouldn't really want to do that for two people living on the truck. But
Yeah, I forget.
Zach says I'm late. Forgive me.
Ah,
You off work, man? Or going to work? Might be waking up to go to work.
Friday.
Seems
Yeah.
like it could come in handy for solo OTR. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ross does a lot of his like editing and stuff on that with his laptop, and does a lot of gaming, and it looks like a fantastic setup. I mean, God, those Volvo trucks. I know a lot of people clown on Volvo trucks, but they're a fantastic riding truck. They have a well sorted cab for amenities. It is definitely one of the nicer ones. Went home sick going in tonight. Dang. Yeah, and I firmly believe if I did not. So Prime bought some Volvo trucks as a trial, and they bought 32 trucks to try for their whole entire fleet. And my trainer happened to get one, or well, he hit them up to make sure, because I guess they were going to do 31, and he got the 32nd one. So if I did not train in a Volvo that had that nice of a ride, I don't think I would be a truck driver, because I don't think I could have even lasted, what was it, 30,000 miles or something. I don't think I would have lasted trying to sleep in a Freightliner for 30,000 miles, because I would just never get any sleep. There was times where at Prime, when we had our Freightliner, when I was trying to sleep, like we had a back-to-back-to-back run or something, and I took a lot of sleeping aids, enough that you could probably put down a horse, and I was not able to sleep on that truck at all. It just, so much vibration through the cab. You feel every single bump, and it feels like it's splitting your spine in half. I just couldn't do it. So that Volvo rode really, really fantastic.
And I'm a better driver than his trainer, I'll just say that.
Yeah, that's very true.
He trusts me more than he trusted
Yeah,
the trainers
that guy
driving,
was
so
wild.
it's not me, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, therefore, when we first started our channel, that was what everyone was speculating, but
because Liz is driving.
no. So, I'm able to sleep on this truck. There's times where, like, if I have to run through the night and then we switch drivers in the morning, I'll be on my phone just messing around for a little while, and then, like, I wake up and where, like, I'm feeling the truck slowing down. I'm like, that was quick. You're like, my shift's over. It's like, oh, okay. Well, then. So, you know, just like knock out for like 8 hours.
It's nice to be able to nap.
Nevada says, I want a truck with a huge sleeper. That's the dream. Perhaps a hot tub. Yeah, I've seen some wild trucks.
Imagine a hot tub going down the road. But also, like, do you have your tanker endorsement?
Oh, right. Yeah. Would you need to be a tanker? How many gallons does a hot tub hold?
I don't think it would be enough to actually need a tanker. But
No, I don't think so either, but
the idea is still funny.
yeah. Yeah, that would be the dream, but I don't know, man. I would rather have an RV and travel across the country not driving for a living with a nice truck.
Yeah, or straight truck.
Drove a Volvo VNL 760 for a Russian company. Best truck I ever drove. Well, that is a very
Loaded comment.
That's a very stereotyped comment.
There's a lot to that one.
Was the company based out of Chicago? Yeah, so I'm very thankful that my trainer had one of those obscure Volvo Prime.
Y'all miss changing gears?
Y'all miss changing gears? Nah, we've only driven automatics commercially. I've driven trucks prior to getting my CDL that had 10 speeds, but no, we haven't shifted gears commercially.
I already have a bad hip and a bad knee. I don't need to quicken my
Wow.
decline into surgery.
It was Chicago.
I mean,
That checks out.
if I had to put money on
Was
it,
it
I
a
would've
white
said
Volvo?
Probably. They only come in white. I'm slowly summoning Ross back to the chat.
Yeah, Ross's truck is one of the other prime Volvo trials.
True. Yeah, I would totally do a Volvo. We weren't buying this truck.
We'll never work for a Russian company, but we'll definitely drive a Volvo. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
For sure.
Like, people do clown on them, but I don't think they've ever actually driven one, or a nice one. Somebody was telling me how they were named after a girl's part for a reason, and har har har. So I asked him when was the last time that he drove a Volvo, and he said he drove a day cab that had almost 1 million miles, and that was like 10 or 15 years prior, and it was like, it's not even in the same realm. Yes, it was a white Volvo. Wow.
So there was also this thing at Prime where everyone was like, oh, if you get anything other than a Freightliner, then the guys in the shop at Prime can't work on it. They're like, you're never going to be able to find service on these trucks. And like, I don't know. I don't... the mechanics at Prime were fine for what they wanted to do. They're all right. But once we got a Peterbilt, I was like, it wasn't the like big scary, you're gonna, never be able to have the truck worked on thing. So now that we've overcome that thing of like having to find Peterbilt dealerships, I mean, I would do a Volvo.
Yeah. Yeah, so I've already experienced probably the worst of the worst in the Volvo breakdown. We, in training, my trainer drove us into the Bronx for a delivery, and then we were supposed to switch drivers, and I was going to drive us out of the Bronx. But the truck had other plans, and It's something with the common rail, so it wasn't getting like proper fuel pressure. So a Love's guy came by and he sprayed enough ether in the intake that it would have probably like blown the truck into orbit, but it fired off, and he escorted us over to the Volvo dealership that was in the Bronx. And then we got a hotel next to the airport, and that room was on Friday and Saturday and Sunday night. It was $350 a room, and then during the week it was like 200-ish.
Which back then, hotel prices were so reasonable.
Right.
So that was like super outrageous for back then. Now that's like an average night
But
at most hotels.
it sucked because like if you walk 2 blocks away from the hotel, it was like the crappiest area. There was like prostitutes walking around, there was crackheads, and there was apparently a gang dispute or some violent dispute, so there was like gunshots for like a solid minute straight. So it's not like you could like walk anywhere, so we were getting like Uber and Instacart deliveries, basically like living in the hotel for, it was like 10 or almost 2 weeks. Yeah, it was like 10 or 12 days, something like that. So it was
Did y'all end up sharing a room?
yeah.
So did Prime like split that cost?
No,
or
Prime
they paid all of it?
Yeah,
So your trainer lucked out with that.
So yeah, thankfully they didn't have 2 separate rooms, but they had a room with 2 separate beds.
Yeah, I mean, you weren't cuddling up with
No,
your trainer.
we weren't. No, I didn't like the guy that much. He didn't shower much. Yeah. So Prime ended up paying the bill. I shift the best automated transmission. I mean,
Same.
sometimes you have to going up a hill. It likes to shift at weird points, but yeah. I was told I should take a Cascadia over Peterbilt because breakdowns would be 3 hours versus 3 days.
See, that's the BS that we heard at Prime too, but I don't know, man. It's really not that bad.
Yeah, I mean,
everybody always says that. Oh, Freightliners, you can get them faster, but like, I don't know. We've been sitting at some shops having people call and get time estimates on stuff, and even at aftermarket shops these days, if you hit them at the wrong hour, you're gonna be waiting a day just to get in the shop anyway.
Tammy says, had to deal with a few issues. What did I miss? Just us going over those times that we like to suppress in training and stuff like that, and just talking about
memories,
trucking and stuff. Didn't really miss much, just rambling. That was from the company's head mechanic. Yeah, like we heard a whole bunch of stuff of you should go with this truck over this truck from like mechanics at Prime and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, now that we're on our own, it doesn't really matter. But they would always say that Prime could do maintenance or warranty, and who was it, Love's or TA? One of the two could do warranty work.
I wouldn't want them doing warranty work anyway.
At the truck stop, but every time that we had an issue that was under warranty, they would send us to the dealership, so that didn't even matter anyways.
Right.
You kids don't know how good you have it with these dang automatics. Ben, what's up, man? Dude, I bet you're glad that you don't have to train somebody on driving a manual as well. Who's the better cook? Oh, Liz, hands down. I can make do to survive.
Yeah, you threw down on the smoker though.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you give me a grill or a smoker, I can make some stuff, or I can make some beef jerky. But if we're talking about like complex meals, if I had to, I could probably like YouTube a video and follow along. But I don't find any joy in cooking, whereas Liz likes cooking. At least she says that anyways, but she's good at it.
Well, and kind of being forced away from being able to really cook very much during maybe like the 1 or 2 years that we were at Prime. or just before we really perfected this setup, I found that I enjoy it more than I thought I did. Like, there's something almost meditative about cooking for me. So like I get really depressed when I can't cook, or we're having to like just constantly eat out meals. So it's definitely a mental health thing for me. Helps me stay sane.
Yeah, she's good at it. She makes some really good stuff and super creative as well. That goes back to her like creative side of like her always making things like
I have an art degree.
yeah, crocheting and stuff, but even when it comes to like just cooking stuff, especially when we get down to like when we haven't been by Walmart, if we're heading home and we just need to stretch our groceries, like she'll come up with some wild stuff, but it's good.
What do we have left meals usually end up being the best.
Ben says he never trained students on a manual, probably wouldn't have. Yeah, I don't blame you. A lot of the people.
The TNT or the PSD phase where they were training them in the first part. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not gonna train somebody how to competently shift gears in the 15 days.
Still having to ride with somebody.
Yeah, God, trying to sleep while somebody's like slamming gears or like grinding gears. No, absolutely not. Like you get that like bunny hop start and you're trying to sleep in your Cascadia and you're just like rolling around. Nope. No, but I talked to a lot of the trainers that had been there for a while and they said the best thing was them going all auto so they didn't have to teach somebody how to drive the truck and how to drive the manual as well. And I remember me learning how to shift gears way back when I was not good. So I can't imagine somebody trying to sleep while I was trying to shift gears. I can't cook, need to make life changes soon. Yeah, I mean, there's cooking to survive and there's cooking as a creative outlet. So I don't know. Like I said, I could manage if I needed to. I was single at a point before I married Liz. So I mean, I lived, but it wasn't pretty. It wasn't great.
Is that our second date where you cooked the steaks for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, second or third, yeah, something like that. Yep. The grill.
Yeah. He said, come over, I'll make dinner. I said, oh, okay.
What are you up to, Ben?
The trickiest thing about buying groceries is if you want groceries to truly be cheaper than eating out all the time, you have to like actually use the groceries. So if you buy vegetables, you have to use them before they go bad. If you buy something that needs to be refrigerated, you have to use it before it goes bad. Like, the trick is using the things and not continuing to eat out.
Tammy wants to know, how many times has Matt agreed with you about being right on something?
We don't generally disagree that much.
Right.
I'm usually wrong anyway. Do you have any memory of?
Not really. I mean,
I think we just generally agree or discuss things and don't.
Yeah.
I mean, he agrees with me about a lot of stuff, but I don't think it's generally that like I'm having to convince you of anything. I don't know, he's pretty logical, smart guy.
Chilling picked up in Texas. Could have went home this weekend, but going home Thursday for the holidays. So hanging out, taking it easy in the truck instead. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's one of the things that we always have to like prepare for the holidays because like that being on, what is it, Tuesday, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so most places are going to be off Monday and Tuesday. Nothing's going to happen on the weekend like usual. So
we booked that load from Atlanta up to Connecticut for the weekend before the 4th of July, and we're thinking we're probably gonna have to just deadhead the 500 miles home because that like Monday I mean, if we picked up anything, we're not going to be able to deliver it until maybe after the 4th of July. And then by then, that's the time that we need to get home because our doctor's appointments are on the 6th. So it's going to be a whole big mess. But
Tammy says she's not off. Find us load from Connecticut to Virginia or somewhere along the way on the, what day did we deliver?
so we're delivering the night of the 1st.
Yeah, so
But
anytime
the
from the
tricky
second.
thing is the 2nd is a Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so then you're looking at the 3rd, and then it's the 4th, and most places are going to be at least closed for the 4th. So it's a tricky one, but that load pays well enough for we can do it in one day to be, I mean, that it pays as much as a normal weekend load for us. So
see you later, Mac. Thanks for dropping in. It's good talking with you. Yeah, this is not going to be the most efficient week, or especially trying to go home and the holiday as well. If it was one or the other, we can make it work, but we're just going to probably end up at the house early.
And that was kind of my own mistake, was making those doctor's appointments for the 6th, because I wasn't even thinking about the 4th of July and it being tricky.
Yeah,
to like work out getting home around the 4th of July.
We made these doctor's appointments months ago.
But you always know when the 4th of July is going to be.
Yeah.
But it wasn't even, like, I wasn't even thinking about it being a holiday and having to work around that date.
Yeah, and then my birthday right after, and then we're going to go down to Richmond to get the car tuned.
An anniversary or something.
And an anniversary after.
And then we booked out. Yeah, and then we booked out something that picks up, I think, the 20th or 22nd of July. So then it's like, all right, so now, I don't know. It's a whole big mess, but it'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll probably need to find a load, maybe, if we can find one around the house, taking us not too far.
Yeah, so we're going to do the second leg from Harrisonburg up to Connecticut on the 15th, I want to say. So then the other tricky thing right now is figuring out a load to come back down the East Coast to pick up that load going out to Houston. But we'll figure it out. It's really hard because, like, FedEx and some direct customers know what they're going to have a month out, but for some of the other stuff you have to wait until closer to the week of to be able to find anything.
And Ben said none of his runs are running the holiday week, so hopefully I can get one of those hot, spicy after holiday loads. Yeah.
True.
That's the hope, right? If they're still there.
I think that was my 4th. I think I've done 4.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Crocheted 4 things?
I think.
Nice. Yeah, we're almost at 2 hours. Man. It's always awesome just seeing who comes out. It's like current drivers, past drivers, now agents. There's a lot of people that are looking to get into the industry, some people that are company drivers. So we got a diverse audience, that's for sure.
I'd like more agents too.
Right.
Come join our lives, that's fun.
Right. Yeah, we need to make friends with more agents. We've been helping all these drivers out.
Not that I don't appreciate you, Tammy. I really appreciate you. But, like, all the ladies that we work at for, like, all the FedEx loads, where y'all at?
They don't want to come talk to us.
What do you do? Why are you not watching YouTube on a Friday night?
Are you a pretty good fix-it man?
Geese.
If it has tires, I can fix it. Pretty much.
So you're pretty handy with other stuff too, though. But I guess tires are really the things with tires are the only things that we generally need to fix, because we don't have a house.
Yeah, I mean, there's pretty much not anything on a car that I couldn't fix.
I'm usually, so you did we did the bathroom remodel.
That's true.
The house.
I faked my way through a bathroom remodel,
I
not
came
knowing
from
what I was doing.
A family of construction workers, so my mom, well, both my parents are very handy people, and I did a lot of mission trips as a young lady. So I actually have quite a bit of construction background. The car stuff came later in life.
Yeah. Good agents, please. I would say Tammy is a good agent. We've ran a bunch of loads with them, but
not in a while though, right?
Yeah, PIT.
Have we?
We did one.
What was the
last
one
week?
Did we?
Yeah.
Did we?
Yeah. I would look it up on my phone, but it would stop the YouTube live.
All the loads have blurred together.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the paper one that we did. The
Hudamataki?
I think.
Hudamaki? Was that a pit run?
Do you is your agency the one that runs Hudamaki paper products? I'm pretty sure it was. If it wasn't that, it was the other paper plates that we picked up or something
In
like
Maine?
that.
Because if it was the main one, that was quite a few months. That was like January or something.
No, it was pretty recent.
Okay.
Yeah. She'll deny it. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I know we've booked. Yeah, because if I see that agency code, I know it's going to be, good. There's other ones that we see and we immediately have a sense of dread that we know it's going to be bad.
So, the guys that we worked with recently, where we got there and they said that they didn't have a load, I guess that was the last video that you put up.
Yeah.
I see their agency code popping up all over the place all the time.
West Marine. What agency was that?
MGP?
Yeah. Yeah, we did a lot. We've done a few of those, but I think that's Austin Taylor Group.
Yeah.
Taylor Corp.
Yeah, but still
whatever.
they don't seem like the worst.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent. I was actually able to get them on the phone and stuff.
They're alright.
I mean, there's only so much that they would really even be able to help with when they're getting information from somebody.
Have you guys talked about the agent exclusion added to the app yet? Has it
been added to the app? Whoo, buddy.
No, I didn't even know it was added to the app.
I was just asking about that the other day. I said, didn't they change something? And he said, oh yeah, on the computer. So, woo.
Yeah, I know you could go on to the website and add exclusions, but I don't recall seeing that they updated the app. That's kind of cool, I guess. I wonder if can agents do the same thing? Tammy, do you know? Can you exclude drivers from your loads?
Oh, we know we're excluded from one.
Oh yeah, that lady already excluded us. Yeah.
It was such a good load and we messed it up so bad.
No, dang. They can't.
We didn't mess it up. The guard shack bamboozled us into messing it up. But still, gotta take the credit for that one because I should have known better.
I have my own hell no list. Yeah, absolutely. We always do too. It's like a mental list. But if rates are low and loads are tight, sometimes those hell no turns into maybe. Maybe we'll do this dance.
Well, and I think what I like about those guys from the other day, even though I'm sure that we've done plenty of loads for them, they're not the kind that you call and then like, oh, actually it's posted for this amount. Like, it's always the actual number that you see, and that's like the big number one thing is like, we're not taking things for less than they're posted for.
Yeah, we also found that when we're booking out farther, it's typically people that already have the loads in hand, and it's not nonsense, like it's not going to get canceled. It's typically, if you're posting it that far out, it's already a very structured pickup. So we've been having pretty good success with those loads that are posted like a week or two out.
With the renegotiating on rates, do you think that some of the things that we've already booked would get renegotiated?
Probably eventually.
No, but I'm saying like before we go to pick them up.
No.
Like because we've already agreed to a
Yeah,
price, that's
yeah.
the price, right?
hmm Yeah, so FedEx is actually coming back and renegotiating some of the lanes that they have that were on the higher range, but there'll be a specific cutoff. Like any of the loads that are already posted, they're going to pay that. But going
Yeah.
forward, at some date, it's going to change.
I was just wondering about the July stuff that we already had booked. If there was any chance that that would.
Nah, if it was already posted, it's already good. Scott said, "Thank you guys. Got to roll. Holmes Pepsi cans. Man, good luck."
Empty Pepsi cans?
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, man. It was good chatting with you. Same with my customer. Yeah, I mean everything's just, it's a ever-changing market. So, but I mean we like dependable people.
Yeah. It's so funny to like sit back and look at the whole dynamic of the whole industry, because it's like, you know, when there aren't enough drivers, like if it's a holiday week or something, then all of a sudden like agents need you. But then when there's a lot of drivers and the agents don't need you, and when there's tons of loads, the drivers feel like they don't need the agents. So it's funny to like just see it be an ever shifting environment. But
and there's another big channel that always preaches know your worth, but I think on that same token, you also need to know your value. So you can know your worth all day long, but you need to know what value you provide. And in a market where the agents need drivers because there's more loads than drivers, yeah, absolutely, you know your worth and you know your value. But then when the market shifts, like your value is significantly less, so your worth, what you think your worth is not what the market thinks your worth is. So in a time when there's 4 times as many drivers as there are loads, you have to know your value, and your worth has to align with the value that you provide as well, or else you end up sitting forever until what your perceived worth and your actual value line up.
Yeah, and also like mega carriers are always ready to come in and scoop up a load for pennies on the dollar for what you want to run it for, because they have that overhead. They have that savings. They don't need to pay their drivers $3-4 a mile. They'll happily do it for $1 or $1.50. So you just always have to kind of keep that stuff in the back of your mind too when you're wanting to demand these crazy prices on loads. I mean, everybody loves to get paid more, but the people who are shipping stuff don't want to pay more. And on a small scale, like if you walk into a UPS or a FedEx place and you're expecting to pay $10 to ship something 4 states over, and they say, yeah, it's gonna be $25, you go, whoa, that's way more than I thought. So at that point, you are the person that's shipping something. So it's funny to also be the person that's like on the other end of driving that stuff to those places, and you're like, I'm not getting paid as much as I used to get paid. It's just like, you just gotta always like put yourself in the other person, like in the shipper's shoes, and like.
But there's also times a lot of companies just aren't shipping things across the country anymore because it's so expensive. They figure out other ways, or
lots of train.
Yeah, the rail system is a way more efficient way to move large amounts of stuff a long distance.
So at the end of the day, I mean, it really comes down to knowing your overhead.
Yeah.
And what your costs are and what you can live off of, and maybe squirrel away a little bit of money at the end of the day.
But you also have to understand when there's any juice to squeeze. So a lot of people are like, you think I'll be able to get them to pay me more on this XYZ? Like, no. You're lucky to get what it's posted for. Take it and run. But Ben said help the agents out when they need help, and they will help you when you need help. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely a give and take. You got to make relationships when you can. But yeah, I think the there's a lot of people that just get stuck in this mindset of like that there's something special, but at the end of the day, you know, like especially the first time people step out with their own truck and they're in this industry of like spot market or like what we're doing where it's like not quite spot market but it's close, they think that they bring something and they're like, well, I am going to tell them XYZ, but then like you just have to remember that you're just another face in the sea of trucks. Like everybody here has a CDL, everybody here has a truck. You know, you're not anything special. If you're pulling a company dry van, yeah, congrats. There's 5,000 other company dry vans being pulled by CDL holders doing the same job. So you can't demand these like special rates or anything like that because like you don't provide any extra value. You know, like we provide a little bit of extra value because we're a team truck. We can always get the freight there on time, you know, pending stuff out of our hands. But like we can't demand a certain rate and expect to get it because I mean there's 10,000 other trucks waiting to take a similar load.
They don't need you.
Yeah, I mean so yeah, it circles back to like, yeah, know your worth, but also know your value. You know, like there's times in the market where you have all the power. There's times in the market where you have no power. Right now, the agents and drivers, we pretty much don't have the power in this. The customer has the power on how much they're going to pay and how much volume they're going to ship.
That's why you can only control what you can control, but if you keep your spending and finances right, then it's not such a panic.
We try to streamline our spending and obviously cutting down debt. I've said that a million times. You know, we don't put things on credit cards and everything that we have is pretty much paid off. The truck is the only large purchase that is getting financed, but that's through the business. You know, that's not like on our personal side. We cook on the truck.
Well, and to be 100% truthful, we do have a credit card.
Yeah.
But I put groceries on it every month, which is a pretty consistent amount every month, and I've just paid off every month. But the key is to not like be tempted to buy things because you feel like you have the money for it, or like you're not actually spending money because you're putting it on a credit card. But that's a thing that you have to like break yourself of the credit card temptation before you can use it responsibly.
Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, we just try to live a moderate life, saving more money. You know, obviously not spending more money than we make because that's a terrible downward spiral.
Yeah, with the being able to get by the house like 3 weekends in a row, I was able to go to some stores that sell like discounted food and like discounted drinks and stuff, and I saved us like, I think in the end it's gonna be like $350 this month on groceries, and that's like drinks and food out on the road. But that was pretty exciting to see. I mean, if we could up the paycheck and not be by the house every weekend, that'd be great. But also to offset, you know, slower weeks, it's nice to be able to go to the sharp shoppers of the world.
Yeah, and we keep catching these pork shoulders and like
chuck roast and
stuff like that on sale,
yeah,
like on manager special, and we just take it to the house and freeze it.
Yeah, it's so much nicer to be able to smoke a $7 pork shoulder instead of a $22 pork shoulder.
What stores do you go to?
So Walmart when we're on the road, because it's the easiest thing to get to. When we're at the house, there's a Food Lion that's really convenient that I like. Know a lot of the cashiers there, they're nice.
I think it's just talking more about the stuff that you get in the Sharp Shopper.
Yeah, Sharp Shopper is the discount store. There's not one super close to the house, but there's two within like 30 miles, so I'll make a special trip out there.
Costco every once in a while.
Yeah, my parents have a Costco card. So I'll
by
get one
default,
of them
we have a Costco card now.
I'll get one of them to take me to Costco if they gotta go there anyway.
But the Food Lion, they always do the manager special
Yeah.
on the meat when they wanted to like to roll it out.
The time we found the ribs there
Oh,
that
yeah.
were mismarked, they were like
$3 instead of 15.
yeah, because it was supposed to be like $5 a pound, and so they had it for like
$1
99 cents a pound. Yeah, we just find like kind of stupid deals at that Food Line all the time. But yeah, Sharp Shopper's good for some stuff, but it's hard at that store because since it's a discount store, they don't always have the same stuff. But it's good to fill in the gaps.
Yeah, Ben's saying going by the house more, not idling, cheaper costs of per day living, waiting for a decent load to pop up is a decent strategy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I talked about it in one of the videos, but like we are not afraid to take a little bit more time off than we used to because the cost of being off the road is less. Whereas like before when the rates were really good,
It's true.
you had a theoretical value that you were losing by not making the money that you could have been. So now that it's less, you know, we can take a week, 2 weeks off if it lines up well. But I mean, obviously, we have to balance it by making money. You know, we can't just keep taking time off just because it's cheaper to take time off now. But
yeah, I think eventually my parents would start to protest.
Maybe
Charges rent.
I don't know. We fix their cars enough when we're home.
We fix their cars, and we do a lot of pet sitting when they go camping and stuff. They do a lot of traveling to see my siblings and stuff. So it's not that we're always in their hair, but.
Nevada says we're only working 5 to 6 days a week. Like we'll be home tomorrow and won't leave till early Monday morning. Yeah, that's nice. Also because you have your own house. Well, I guess you have your family is at your house, but like we don't. It's kind of weird because like we don't have a house of our own, so it's nice going by her parents' house and we can, you know, obviously shower without needing to spend money on fuel, and we can do laundry, and we have a place to store groceries, and you know, I have obviously the smoker and stuff that we can cook, but we don't really have like a house of our own, so we need to balance like how often we go home without anything in particular to do with like staying out as well, because like when we go home in a week or two, we have a bunch of stuff and we're going to end up down in the southeasternmost part of Virginia seeing family and friends and stuff like that, so it's not like we're hanging out at the house. My weekly goal went from 10K to 7K. Those weekend loads are not paying what they used to. Yeah, I mean, no loads are paying what they used to. It's hard even finding a decent load that you don't dread that you pick up Friday and deliver Monday. Whereas before, you could pick them up and they would still cover the daily cost that we had. But now even finding that is difficult. I'm in the same situation. I could be home weekly for a 34 at minimum, but popping in and out too much feels odd. Yeah, that's exactly where we are. It's like I mean, being off of 81, we could be by the house quite a bit, but it's I don't know, it's weird when it's not your own place, you know. You guys need to get a nice condo on the beach somewhere. Having a place to call home is definitely gives you something to work for. Yeah, I get that, but right now we're working towards one, buying the truck, but buying the truck knowing that we're going to run it payment free for a while so that we could get the land. I would rather be out in the middle of nowhere than by the beach, to be honest. Like, you ever drive by those houses and like you look in their backyard or like in the field and you're like, are they running a junkyard out of there or what? Like, that's going to be us. We're going to have so many cars, people are going to question whether we have a junkyard going on or not.
We like driving through the country and say, ooh, look at that garage. Look at that garage. That's a nice garage. That's a nice shop. That's a nice pole barn.
Yeah, so I mean, we have the goal to have our own space for sure. But that also comes with not being on the road as much, because not having somebody to watch over your house.
Yeah.
Uh,
It is going to be completely different this
yeah,
time.
a small drip under a sink. And at the time, we were staying out for like 2 or 3 months at a time.
At
A
least.
small drip destroyed a whole entire bathroom, subfloor down to like the actual like joists were good, but the subflooring was trashed. All the flooring was trashed. It went under all the cabinets. So just something as simple as that, and that like we were paying really good money. We were giving a friend access to our garage and tools, and he could store his car there, work there anytime. He could even stay the night at the house if he ever wanted to. But just getting something as simple as like, hey, grab the mail and cut the grass so it doesn't look like nobody's living here. Even that was difficult to have somebody like reliably do. So having a house and not being by it as much was a pain. So
We definitely didn't want to be landlords with that
right,
situation
that too.
either.
Yeah.
So.
So our plan is to get something probably in Virginia off of 81, maybe somewhere else. I don't know. Florida sounds cool too, but somewhere that we get by frequently, so that
That's the thing.
we'll
It's
be by the
like
house.
if we want to continue to do trucking and live out of this house, then 81 or maybe 77 down North Carolina. But like that general corridor is just so convenient. You cannot beat just being able to pop into the house and then like continue on with the load that you're running. Whereas Florida, but also Florida has a whole bunch of headaches with hurricanes and hurricane insurance and just all that. Because I've looked everywhere. I live on Zillow, but
Yeah, Nevada said that's why I mentioned a condo. It's maintenance free. Yeah, but condo comes with people living near you.
yeah.
We want to live out in the middle of nowhere. Man, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Yeah, I think we're gonna probably be wrapping this up soon. If anybody has any other questions or comments, throw them out there. It was awesome catching up with everyone. Enjoyed seeing all the homies hop in. It's nice talking with an agent, like a good agent that we've actually run for, not just one of the agents that
Yeah, find our Discord.
yeah, that's the only other interaction that we've ever had with an agent in at Landstar. Yeah, a lot of the homies hopped in. It was awesome.
Sozo's still MIA.
Yeah, that's all good. He's got a life too.
Doing something.
Yeah. So, well, thank you guys for joining in. It was fun. 2 hours and almost 2.5 hours.
We're fading after a day of not doing anything.
Yeah, if it didn't support the family, that's me and the wife would do condo on the beach. Yeah, absolutely. I feel you, man. But that's what we're all trucking for, right? To build our futures. Certainly not because of the fame and glory that comes with the trucking. Because there is none. But yeah, being at the beach is fun. I live basically 3 blocks away from the ocean in Virginia Beach for most of my life, so you can have the beach stuff. I just want to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, and maybe next year we'll get back down to my grandmother's condo in Florida.
Yeah, vacationing,
nice.
visiting, beach is nice. Yeah, I think when I was younger and I was doing a lot of the bar hopping and stuff, that was really nice, being able to just either walk or ride your bike down to the ocean front and just take a tour of all the bars, and we knew a lot of the bartenders. That was a lot of fun, but I think I'm past that prime. Lake House. Nothing easy. Good.
Yeah, Lake Gaston has always been appealing.
Yeah. I think those are good vacation spots for us. But like I said, I just want to be out in the middle of nowhere with a lot of land and.
Yeah. Plus, the amount of land and quality or size of house that you can get, so much more economical out in the middle of nowhere. Once you start getting close to the water, it gets so expensive.
Goats and chickens over beaches.
Yes.
Definitely chickens.
Goats are cool too.
Goats are questionable, maybe.
Sheep are where it's at, but
Okay.
I can do goats.
I could do chickens. And maybe bees.
Maybe bees.
Well, I like
And
bees.
what else?
Bees
Rabbits?
don't like me. I don't like bees.
Do rabbits.
Yeah.
Rabbits are pretty harmless. Miniature pony.
Avocado trees.
That's the big reason I was looking in Florida.
Yeah.
Be able to have an avocado tree that we could keep outside.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Thank you, everyone that joined in. It was a blast chatting with everyone. Hey, there's Sozo right as we're wrapping it up.
He's waking up.
Oof.
Tammy, if you feel like joining the Discord, you should join the Discord. It'd be cool.
All right, so next time we call PIT, I'm asking for Tammy.
I'm pretty sure that's who we talk to every time anyway.
Maybe.
I think.
Probably.
I think. But
Yeah,
there's a
say
lot of
avocado
teams.
tree 3 times and Sozo shows up. Hey, Sozo, do you mind dropping the Discord link in the chat for us, please? I would, but kind of on the phone, and
Yeah, if we go away from the YouTube app, it's hard to get back to.
yeah.
Get out of the hole that I've dug myself into.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's free to join. Liz is on there if you want to shoot her a direct message or anything. But we'll keep you in mind if we see any loads on the board. We'll call you and ask for you. All right, guys. Thank you for joining the live and chatting with us, and we will catch you on the next one.